Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm continuing to play with packet radio, which is something I used to play with in the late 1980s. Seems to be coming back into importance for me anyway, and it's been interesting trying to set it all up because some of the software is extremely old and a bit, well, difficult to use, let's say. Some of it's 32-bit, which modern operating systems don't always want to run, and I was looking around for a simple terminal program and not really finding one that I liked until I found this one, which is called PoPT. You'll see what it stands for in a moment, and I like it. It's modern and it works. For packet radio, you can use something like this little transceiver. This is not a Baofeng, it's a TID radio, but it could be a Baofeng, and it needs an interface to plug into the side. These two sockets are for the audio and PTT and so on, and I like to use a digi-rig sometimes. That's a digi-rig which connects to the radio on one end, and on the other end, no, this is the radio end, and on the other end it's a USB connection to a computer. And between the radio and the digi-rig you're going to need some sort of cable. Somebody sent me a message, and you find yourself having to make cables, or I do, and having to reach for things like this, if you remember, tools like soldering irons. So it gets a bit technical and a bit complicated sometimes, surprisingly. But I've got stuff working, and what I'm going to do is show you how to set this up, this terminal program called, I call it PoPT. I don't know if that's what it's really supposed to be called. Maybe the owner will get in touch with me. Let's just switch the video to the desktop screen capture, and this is the GitHub page for the author of the software, AX25 PoPT. His name is Direwolf. His full name had something with Schnitzel something I saw somewhere. I can't remember where I saw it, but anyway. And what I did notice when I just clicked on stars here, just quickly, you look at this, and the top of the list is Mark Kvist, and some of you may know him as the author of the Reticulum network stack, which I've been playing with a lot over the last year, and it may be that there's going to be some connection between Reticulum or other modes and the old style packet radio. Anyway, what I want to install today is this thing, and if you look at the page, what I was very pleased to see is that it was last updated 2 months ago. Some of the stuff I've been looking at was last updated 12 years ago, and it shows when you try to run it. So this is very modern, recent software, which I'm very happy to have found. So a big shout goes out to Direwolf, and thank you for writing this, because I was getting frustrated. What I'm doing is I'm actually running Ubuntu 22, in fact, as a virtual machine on my server, just because it's easier to set up little test virtual machines. Of course, you can install this on any machine, a Linux machine, because it's a Python program, so it's very transportable. And what I'm going to do is then install it on this machine. This is a SSH terminal to my Direwolf server. In fact, you can also run, of course, Direwolf on the same computer where you run everything else. I've just spread stuff out. I'm virtualizing everything these days and making sort of a modular system I can connect through TCP on my LAN. So I'm going to have Direwolf running here, and you may have seen this in my other videos. Let's run it anyway. Let's see if it starts. So that's Direwolf, which is the software TNC, or terminal node controller. I've actually built some hardware TNCs as well for some old style experiments, because I was wanting some standard equipment. But anyway, this is running in debug mode, showing the audio input level coming into Direwolf from a radio like the one I showed you. I was going to show it, and the audio level, the squelch is open, so it's just white noise at the moment, around about 80. It's a little bit high, but it's okay, and you can adjust it with the volume control on small handheld radios like that. Anyway, so Direwolf is running, and what I'm going to do is, maybe I'm going to stop it because it's distracting. Control L clears the screen. Not a lot of people know that. So I'm going to install this terminal program by looking at my notes and copy pasting the commands. So you have to be in your home directory, which I am, and you have to install these packages first of all. You may already have them depending on the system. This is a fresh installed clean Ubuntu 22 that I just showed you, so none of this will be installed. So I'm going to install that quickly on here. Control-Shift-V, password, and hopefully that will install without any errors. Let me just check the video is still running. I've got a habit of, yes it is, not running the video sometimes. So that's installing those packages, the Python environment. What else am I going to do next while we're waiting for that? Oh yes, git clone the software from the GitHub page I just showed you. So Control-C, we're going to get that, and it's going to create a directory called this AX25 PoPT and put it in there, and then we change into it and then do that. So let's see if that's finished yet. It has, so let's do that git clone. If you don't have Git installed on your system, it'll give you an error, of course, which is why I put it in the list of things I just installed. So that's downloaded it, 20 megabytes or so. So it's quite big these days. Oops, can't do that. Have to do it like this. Yeah, we have to change into that directory, and then we have to run this command to create a Python 3 virtual environment, Control-C. So I have to remember to change directory. Let's see if I can do it like this. I can't even remember the name. I think I'm losing my short-term memory. This is terrible, isn't it? How embarrassing. AX25. Okay, so CD AX tab. Found it. So there we are. We're in there now. If you look in that directory, those are the files that we just downloaded from GitHub. So now we can do Control-Shift-V to create the virtual environment. Oh, really? Needs a sudo. Interesting. Different machine. Let's do that then. So what I had to do was to install what was suggested in the error message I got when I tried to start the virtual environment, which is strange because this machine is cloned from another one that's identical, obviously, and it worked on the other one. So it's one of those things. So I had to do this, which I've already done, to install this virtual environment Python code, and then we can do this, and hopefully this time it won't give an error. Yeah, no error. Okay, so what do we do next? We have to activate the virtual environment. So copy that and Control-Shift-V, and there we are. This little venv at the beginning shows that we're now in a Python virtual environment. So that's working as expected. And next thing to do is to install from the list of requirements this. So let's do that. Yeah, I'm not in the right directory, am I? I have to be in, what was it, AX something? Yep, try that again. Okay, now it works. So it's installing the required files for the Python program. Let's have a look while that's going and see what to do next. And the next thing I can do is actually start the program by running it using this command. You may need the 3 on the end or not, depending on your operating system. So let's copy that and paste it in here. And it worked. Good. Language English, theme default. Okay, next. This is just a little script to start the thing up. You can add these data later if you want, or you can put it in a config file. But anyway, let's just put that in for now is enough. And hopefully this program will start. Oh, I have to press OK. Okay, you can see some debug information here, and there we are. Let's make it full screen. It has started and it's running, and I like it because it hasn't crashed yet. I've been using it for a few hours on various machines, and I'm slowly finding my way around it. It's not so intuitive, maybe, but it's quite okay. So first of all, we need to go into settings and set up some settings. Your locator where you are, that's a map reference for radio amateurs, and the name of the town where you are you could put in, don't have to. Station, that's the call sign I entered a name, and I don't need anything else there. Port, that's the important thing because you have to configure a port for it to connect to. And I'm going to be connecting via a TCP KISS port. KISS is Keep It Simple Stupid from the 1980s packet radio terminology. There's a KISS TCP protocol. You can also have a KISS serial protocol where you plug a TNC into a serial port or a USB adapter with a serial chip in it, but so far I've only tried it with this network connection using TCP because I have a server that's running one, which I showed you earlier, the Direwolf. I'm wondering if I left it running now. It's a very good question, isn't it? Maybe I should just take a look at that, because I think, yeah, let's oh, it is, yeah, that's still my server. Okay, so let's run Direwolf again, and it's got the debugging going for audio. Let's actually stop that and not have the audio debugging, because I've already shown you that, I think. So let's just run it in normal mode. So that's connected using a TCP IP connection on my LAN. Let me just show you that IP-A. So this is the address, we can actually use it, of the Direwolf server. Whoops, Control-Shift-C. That's the IP address, which I'm going to use now. So let's start the Direwolf server again. It's 3 times in a row. And then in here, for address, IP address, we put that. You'll notice that because this program originates in Germany, there are odd German words sneaking in more and more, the more you see, but that's fine. So I put a 1 in there once, and it made things work better. I'm not quite sure what that really means. Maybe somebody can comment in the comments. And you have to check the box next to call sign, otherwise it doesn't work, I found by experience. The port is the port that Direwolf is serving the TCP connection on, which is 8001 in my setup. And that Direwolf is connected to a digi-rig and a radio with a small antenna on it that hopefully is going to work in a few minutes. So I've got the IP address, got the port, should be it. Let's save that, and let's see what Direwolf just said. Okay, Direwolf saw the connection. It's thrown up this complaint about it being an old style thing, but I think we don't worry about that. And it says it's not initialized. I think if you stop it and start it a few times, it suddenly is, from my memory. Oh, but I haven't filled in the config file yet for this program, so that can't work yet. So what I need to do is to put some information into the config file for this program. So let's quit the program, and in my notes we will see that I have to create a file called PoPT.ini with the right spelling, and remember it's case sensitive, so it's a small o. So let's copy that and paste it into this terminal. So that's the nano editor, and then let's put in the text, which is not much. Whoops, not much at all, just these few lines. I think that's it, yes. So let's put that in there, Control-V, Control-Shift-V of course, and then Control-X to exit, yes, and then press enter. So now it's saved. Let's start the program again and see what happens. And as I said, sometimes the new connection doesn't always stick. Let's have a look. Station is there. Port. Oh yeah, it has stuck. Good. So you see the error not configured has gone away now. So this port is connected to the Direwolf server and it's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is just say OK to that. Let's have a look at that Direwolf server. Wherever it was. Yep, it's still working, and this program is connected. So let's see if we can make a connection. And to do that, we click on Connections, want a new one. Destination, this is going to be a local packet radio node where I live, and it's what got me into packet radio, because I saw the signals, very strong signal on 144.95 megahertz, and I wanted to connect to it. And I've spent quite a lot of time trying to make hardware and software work to the point where it connects. I got it nearly connected a few days ago, but now I've done it for real. So let's put in its call sign, GB7BTN-1. And if you press enter, it doesn't do the connection. You have to press go. This is saved for later if it's successful, so that's handy. Oh, there was a packet transmitted from this system. You heard it on another radio. Oh no, look, it says this is the text coming back from that station. It says hello Simon. I've logged in before, so when it sees my call sign I configured in the ini file for this program, it looked me up in its database and it knows my name is Simon because I told it. So we're connected. What we're going to send goes at the top, which I don't like. I want that at the bottom. So you can change the layout. This is just me being fussy. Here, I want the transmit data at the bottom, and yeah, that one. Save it. I think you have to save every time, not just say OK, otherwise it won't save for next time. And now the transmit button is still at the top. You probably have to exit and restart the program, so I won't do that right now. Let me just send a command to that node, info. So it's got sent, and oh, syshop has not created an info file. Okay, this is sort of the raw data that's going backwards and forwards, and you see other stations appearing in there. This is the data that's intended for me to read, and this is what I'm sending. Where's the list of commands? Usually there's a list of commands. No, let me send a question mark. So it's one character, and it may come back with a list of commands. Various commands. Yeah, it hasn't done that. Okay, different nodes have different protocols and different software running, and sometimes it does come up with a list of commands. It did actually. I think they might have changed it because it was off the air for a couple of hours today, I think, and things changed. But you can see it's working. I don't want to go into the details of how to talk to a packet radio node, but you can see that it's actually working. Let me disconnect it to stop the noise, like that. So I'm able to connect and send and receive commands, which is something I've been striving to do for a couple of weeks, to be honest. But there's the history of the connection that was made, and it's probably failing to disconnect at the moment. Anyway, I'm going to exit this program rather than leave it running. And oh, you can't exit. Now you can. Okay, this if we look in here and scroll through, it shows you what's going on, all the different messages from the software. So if there are any problems, you can have a look in here, see what's going on. This is the Direwolf server. At the beginning it would have said it was connected somewhere. Then you can see the raw data that's been sent backwards and forwards on the Direwolf console output, and then when I close that Python terminal program, then the Direwolf says, oh, the client's gone away, because it has. I think you can only have one connection at a time to this port, so you have to remember not to leave anything connected, otherwise it blocks other things from connecting. Was a problem I had earlier today. Anyway, I think that's probably enough for the moment. Let's turn that off. I look forward to reading your comments and questions, and I'm no expert on packet radio, and certainly not on the software I just showed you, but I was very relieved when I found that software and got it working, because I find it really convenient to use, and now I can make further progress with these sorts of things. And I will make other videos showing you how to configure the Direwolf server on Debian. It's very simple if you don't want to run it on the computer you're sitting in front of. So thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe if you think that's appropriate.